Hey everyone, this is Mark from Stocks and Cash. I'm here with your weekend update on January 21st, 2018. Trying to get this video out before the football games start. I'm sure some of you will be watching, so let's get right into it. So here we have the SPY. On Friday it had a green candle, small green candle, continuing this uptrend that we've been seeing. We're just a few cents here away from our target of 280.84. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit it on Monday, although with this government shutdown that occurred on Friday, I'll be honest, I don't have any sense for how it may or may not affect stocks. I've been doing a little research and haven't really noticed anything major that might affect it. But one thing you could do is take a look at the at stock futures. I prefer to look at CNN Money to check out what the futures are doing, late at night or early in the morning before the market opens, just to kind of get an idea of, where the market's going to take off from or not, or go down from. But, MACD is still pointing upward. Stochastics are definitely overbought, as we've seen. Same for the RSI, and we're near our target. So I would definitely, issue a word of caution. Certainly not predicting, any kind of meltdown in the market or anything, but we might have a little bit of a pullback. Or at least some consolidation sideways, so just be aware of that. Taking a look at the Qs, not much of a candle on Friday. Again, we're still holding the ascending trend line, still a few cents away from our target here. MACD is up, but again, the Stokes and the RSI are overbought, and they have been for a little while, so just be wary, of starting a long position, at least a large long position at this point, until we see some kind of sideways movement and another leg higher, or maybe a little pullback and then a bounce higher. But just be aware of that. So taking a look at my holdings, let me get rid of this. Apple kind of had a downish day. Walmart and WYNN had good days for me, especially WYNN. I'm really liking this trade right now. You can see my new trades. I got into Citi, eBay, IWN, and and McDonald's. So I'll jump through all of those right now. I'm happy with my IWM trade. That was something I bought early in the day. eBay was something I bought early in the day, but I was actually down on it. Again, we'll go over that. Citigroup and McDonald's I bought at the close of the day on Friday. And then we'll also talk about FCX, Cores, LULU, and Tesla. So let's get into it. Oops. So looking at Apple first. Apple didn't really do a whole lot. It was down a little bit, but our trend line is still holding. We're still above our breakout level of 176.34. Not crazy about the price action, but this could be some kind of a flagging pattern where we, I'll draw it out quickly. You could have something that kind of looks like this in the short term, and then it kind of pops and breaks out. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for at Apple. Maybe another downish day tomorrow, and then hopefully rebound and continue on upwards. Let's see. Disney. Also testing this ascending trend line. Certainly not too crazy about the price action on this stock. Again, it was a small position for me, so I'm not too worried about it. But it's something for me to keep my eye on if I want to get out of this trade. I have my stop here from January 10th. But this also might be a spot where we bounce and continue on up. Time will tell, but I'm not too worried about it. Walmart. Walmart's kind of meandering a little bit. It had a gap up on Thursday, kind of had a similar candle on Friday. It might just be resting before its next leg up. The Stokes have only just recently got into overbought territory, and you can see in the past here that they've lived there and have kind of moved sideways. I don't expect it to roll over or anything. I am hoping for it to continue on up. But my stop will be at the low of Thursday's candle. I have a nice profit. I don't want to risk it too much. Again, this is all about risk and reward, and I want to lock in the profits that I've gotten. Of course, ultimately, I'd like it to go up to my target here, of 108, but you know, I'm not going to be greedy. MACD is up though, so that's encouraging. RSI is overbought a little bit, but again, I'm definitely putting my stop below the low of Thursday's candle. And if I get stopped out, so be it. If it moves on, great. WYNN, I'm really liking this trade. Because of the price of the stock itself, I only bought one call. So, you know, in terms of trimming, it's not really possible. Excuse me. But this was an extremely strong candle on Friday, and you know MACD has crossed recently. The Stokes are up. RSI is overbought, unfortunately, but you know RSI alone isn't going to cause or indicate that we're going to roll over anytime soon. I'm definitely looking for one more nice candle on WYNN, but again, it's similar to Walmart. I want to lock in my gains, so I have my stop below the low of Friday's candle to you know keep my profits. Looking at Citi, which again I got into on Friday, you see that we had a nice strong candle that broke above the or closed above the 77.83 breakout line. MACD is up. RSI is not even in the overbought territory yet, and you can see back here the stochastics can stay in the overbought zone and still you know be up on an uptrend. So not too worried about that. I really like this trade actually. I think it's going to work out well. Let's see what's next. eBay. So eBay was I wouldn't say a losing trade, but it didn't work out so great so far. But you know, giving it some time. I have my stop below the low of Thursday's candle. MACD is trying to cross over. It hasn't done it yet, but the Stokes are facing upwards. They've crossed bullish, and RSI is just a little over midway, so there's plenty of room for it to run. You know, gaps like to fill, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do get to 39.5, or perhaps get to our breakout level of 40.12. I got into a small position. I'm not too concerned about it. But again, just to you know work towards mentality and stick to my plan, I'm going to set my stop at the low of Thursday's candle here, and we'll see what happens with eBay. IWM, I really like this trade a lot. Now IWM broke out back here on the 11th. It hit our first target of 158.28, kind of retraced to the 8 EMA, meandered a little bit, kind of had a triangle pattern, and now it's broken out of that pattern. Excuse me. So I'm definitely seeing the possibility for it to continue on to 162.09. Not necessarily in a straight line or one big candle, but I definitely see over the next few days it getting to its to our 162.09 target. Let's see, McDonald's. This is another trade I got into at the end of the day. We have to kind of zoom way in to see that we actually closed above our breakout line, which you can see there. I'm pretty much flat on the trade. I'm going to give it some room. Probably put my stop at the low of Friday's candle. But again, I mean, it's been in a nice ascending pattern. It broke out. The MACD is crossing upwards. The stochastics have not even gotten to the overbought territory. RSI is pointing up. So I think McDonald's has a good chance to run up a bit before its earnings. Now taking a look at some potential setups. Oh, and by the way, I mean, I got into McDonald's on Friday. If you didn't get into it, there's certainly the ability to get into it on Monday. You can play the 5-minute rule, and you know if after the first 5-minute candle that's formed, if we get a close above the high of that candle, then go ahead and get into this McDonald's trade if you feel comfortable and it meets your trading criteria and plan. But I do see it getting up to a target of 179.06 and then maybe 183.31 if it has a strong run before earnings. I don't remember exactly what McDonald's is off the top of my head in terms of earnings date, but again, you could go to Earnings Whisper or whatever site you prefer and check on that. So some other stocks now, FCX. FCX has been consolidating lately. I don't think it's a buy just yet, but you know, we have our trend line here. Oops. Our breakout level here. We have our trend that's been building, and then we have you know, this kind of a triangle-ish pattern that looks set to break out and start another leg up. Excuse me, I haven't drawn my fibs yet on it. I guess we could do that real quick and just see, you know, what we can expect out of FCX if it runs. So if we do break above the 2008 breakout level, we could get to 21.76 and then almost $24. So a lot of room to run, high risk and high reward with low risk. Now just be aware that the MACD is pointing down. I do prefer that it's indicating bullish and has crossed over, which again hasn't happened yet, but RSI is resetting and so are the Stokes, so I definitely think it's possible for this guy to start running up again. A couple more here. Coors has a very similar pattern to oh shoot, I have two drawings here. Let me get rid of one of those. Sorry about that. Coors looks very similar to FCX in the sense that it kind of had a nice run up and then consolidated a little bit, and now it's kind of breaking out. You can see that the MACD is almost crossing over. The stochastics are up, and RSI is reset and trying to come back up again. And again, like other stocks, you can see the RSI and the Stokes have you know, sat in the overbought territory, but still have you know, continued to ascend. So for target 1, I like 68.91 and target 2, 74.82. Again, this is a low risk, high reward trade, which is what we like to get into. And just to be clear, I mean, trade could certainly roll over and go against us, but that's why we have our tight stops and minimize our losses and let our winners run. LULU looks like it's trying to get into a breakout level here. You know, it had a nice run up, kind of similar to FCX and Coors. Pulled back a bit, hit the 21 EMA, and now it's kind of trying to bounce back up, it looks like. Given the way I played eBay, I think I would wait now until it crosses over the breakout level of 81.8. But if you prefer to play it now, you're welcome to do that as well. Again, it's up to your trading plan and how you want to play the trade. But the breakout level is at about $82. The second target is at 92, so you got about a you know, $10 reward for maybe just, I mean, I guess it depends where you want to put your stop, but you know, this could be a 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1 type trade, depending on how you want to handle it in terms of risk and reward. Lastly, Tesla. Tesla broke out on Friday. I did not get into it. I wanted to. I looked at the options, and honestly, they were just a bit too pricey for me. And it was just not really in my trading plan at the moment. So this stock is, you know, the options. You can make a lot of money. You could lose a lot of money. You can see that there are a lot of long wicks, so that it's a pretty volatile stock. It just wasn't something I was comfortable getting into. But I'm happy to do the analysis. It looks like it's an uptrend. MACD is up. The Stokes are overbought. RSI is not, but it looks like traditionally Tesla doesn't get into the overbought territory, at least not in the short term here that we're looking at. But I definitely could see a target of 36.14, and after that maybe 360.14 and 376.56 as targets 1 and 2. Again, given the volatility of the stock, I would definitely trim your positions here at target 1, and you know, let the rest kind of ride up and see if you get to that second target. But again, the name of the game is low risk and high reward, and these are the types of setups I try to look for and try to give to you guys. So hopefully you have some success. Enjoy the games and have a great weekend. Take care.